episode 415 of Global from Asia. We're doing a storytelling time. The origins of the professor of Amazon, Howard Tai, a friend, speaker at Cross Border Summit, also doing an amazing Secret Island Mastermind. Let's tune in.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight-up, actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
Thank you so much for choosing to watch or probably listen to Global from Asia podcast. We're at 415 shows, 1 month, just a little bit over a month to go before Cross Border Summit 2023, the fifth one. Can't really say annual, but fifth. Also, the professor here, Professor will be there as a speaker at the Cross Border Summit. Also, he's doing an amazing secret elite seller society mastermind on an island in the south of Thailand, November 4th to the 8th. We will get into that into the show as well. So amazing stuff happening here in November in Thailand. A lot of stuff happening, and I'm feeling like we're getting back to the normal world, at least in my world of reality of open borders, new beginnings, as we say. Let's tune into this show, and then after I will chat a little bit about some highlights I think will be coming up at his island mastermind. Also let him know you found out from us when you apply. It's application only. Also some Cross Border Summit paths and things happening. But let's tune into the show. All right, we have Tommy, the sales manager at Cross Better Logistics. How are you, Tommy?
Hi, everyone.
We just got to meet here in Shenzhen, China. It's great. They support the show at Global from Asia, and we also use them ourselves for many of our brands and e-commerce businesses. And Tommy really cares. They always are trying to help us save money. You have some products you keep for us in China. You have some products you keep for us in the U.S. warehouse, and I really appreciate that. And you can talk to this seller, right? You can give them your advice. You work with many Chinese sellers a lot, right? And you can help the sellers understand more.
Yeah, we are very professional for the shipment to USA and Canada. Also, we have warehouse in USA and Canada. We can help our factories, suppliers, sellers for the shipment.
Yes.
Yeah, for the e-commerce business.
Yep, and you even keep stuff in China too. So sometimes if you have the limitations of sending too much to Amazon, you can keep it here in China with Cross Better, or you can send, of course, to the U.S. warehouse. They have many different options, and they're always trying their best to find out what's the best solution for you. So Definitely talk to Tommy, talk to Cross Better, and thank you for your support of the community.
Yes, we have good pricing and better service.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into our Global from Asia podcast. I'm looking forward to this. Howard's been on the show at least a few times. The professor. Nice to have you back, Howard. How you doing?
Great. Thanks, Mike, for having me on.
Yeah, we've had some more technical discussions about in the past, some previous episodes on the show about the Chinese sellers versus Western sellers, and we've talked some technical stuff. But today is a little bit more like the story, your story. I'm excited, like how we met and then how you got started on e-commerce and to China and everything. So you ready for today?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Great. So I think a lot of people know you as the professor. You're also have been doing a great agency work with Signalytics. You founded and CEO of Signalytics, and also the ESS, or Elite Sellers Society mastermind group and community. So it's really a pleasure to have you back on the show and to see you grow. I think maybe we start with how we first met. We first met in Shenzhen. I think it was 2017 or so, where Thompson, NYPD Pizza. Anybody in Shenzhen should know the pizza delivery. It's great pizza, and you guys have been friends from LA. And I think you swung by. I had a pizza. He brought a pizza, and you came along, and you guys were hanging out, and we were talking in my place and talking about e-commerce and connecting about things. I think I'm right. So that was a funny.
I remember it was with Thompson, and then we met through him. And I don't. That's a long time ago. That's 2017. You're right. That's before. I think I went to a couple of
Yeah,
your like cross border
the cross
summit things as
summits.
well.
And we were doing meetups too. That was the good old days in Shenzhen where there was lots of community events. You had, yeah, there was the events at the Mambo, I think, and there was events, I think Zach had meetups and everybody was having a lot of cool stuff going on. But yeah, that's right. You'd come to the Cross Border Summit. You're also spoken there a few times. You'll be back again. We're bringing it back. So it's great to have you back. And but yeah, I think it was a great way to connect with you and yeah, in the community. And we obviously knew a lot of common friends in the industry. I remember when we first connected. So it's been awesome to build our friendship and our relationship.
Yes, I remember that I went to one or two of your summits, your cross border. I
Yeah.
was speaking in one of them in Guangzhou,
Yeah,
I
the
think,
Guangzhou 2019.
and then and then we went. There was other things. So I remember like my first mastermind was in Shenzhen in 2018. So that was I knew you before that. So
Yeah, it's great, man. And then let's go back to your story. Like you're also been doing, I think also eBay. I think a lot of us were eBay. So I think you started on e-commerce and eBay, and when you were, because you're from LA originally. I remember you have a cool. Maybe we could connect to your vlog. You have a video blog. I watched about your story in California. But yeah, you're originally from California, right? And you were doing eBay while you were there.
so let me tell you my story. So I'm actually born in LA, born and raised in LA. So regarding eBay, right? I came out of college in UC San Diego is
Yep.
actually the college at Thurgood Marshall, computer science and engineer back in like 2002 or something like that. And then I had a lot of books and these Microsoft software and things like that they give away. So when I had collections of them, because I'm a computer science major, these big software companies like Microsoft wants you to use their software growing up, like getting out of
Yeah.
there in the world so that you know how to program theirs using their systems, their programming language, C sharp, and so on. So, that's kind of like where we kind of came out from. And then we kind of use those books and the software and try to sell it on eBay in the beginning. And that's where I started with eBay. And then after that, I then came out and worked with one of my mom's friend to start up a like e-commerce kind of company. Uh, with that, we're selling like ink cartridges. Then they moved on to like cell phone accessories, iPod, iPads,
Yeah.
and ebook, and like these netbooks back in the days.
Yeah.
It was a lot of it was we were like one of the first to sell a lot of these stuff, like Apple accessories, HDMI cables, and so on. So if you see on eBay these multi-pack, right? You see like a iPhone charger with a cable with a case, and it's like a bundle pack kind of thing. We were the one that kind of first started it, and E4 City and all those bigger sellers on eBay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then that was 2000 and I think that's 2003, 2003. Then we kind of broke up with my partner, and then I think we started our other company 2005 or 7. Then we started multi-country marketplaces. We
Wow.
didn't just sell on eBay or Amazon or other. There was like a shop.com in the US, Rakuten in the US.
Yeah.
We actually do it for every country. We're talking about UK, France, back then Price Minister, and then we did Rakuten Japan, we did Marlboro Libre, and so on. We did everything. So that's where
Mm,
we kind of started one of the first to do multi-channel and multi-country.
amazing. Yeah. So back to well, probably was just shipping out of your maybe even your dorm or fulfillment probably was just all from the US, right? I mean, would you buy from China and import? I mean, the books, I guess you had, but maybe the electronics you were buying most likely from China. Were you importing it, then warehousing it in like California and then sending, or were you fulfilling from China or
Well, I was importing from China back
yeah,
in the day.
import first and then
So, 2020, 2003, we imported. So ever since then, we just import everything. We were uh, pretty early in there before like global sources really being popular and so on. So that's kind of where we started. And yeah, it was kind of, I would say, I started selling in my car. I have like a I have all the inventory in the back of my car and then a trunk, and then I go to these, they call it cafe places or boba rest places, tea places, and we just
Mhm.
sit there, and then we just like hook up our power to there where we can find power, and then just print out the labels and then ship it out through USPS. And
Uh,
then later on, we then went to like kind of rented my friend's house to do more bulk shipments, DHL Global Mail, or they call it now DHL Ecommerce. We had, and so on. So it was kind of started in the back of my car, actually.
that's awesome, man. That's yeah, me like yeah, all of us, especially those days, was yeah. I'm a little bit later, '04, but I was using my apartment, my studio apartment, and then I couldn't even get the receive it because I was working, and so I had to go to the UPS store pickup facility or something, and then yeah, it was like everybody was just hustling there to just the logistics was really a nightmare earlier those days, right? Like yeah, cars and apartments and basements and maybe UPS. I think you could do some UPS store, but it was I don't think maybe they would hold it. I think they would receive it and you had to take it. I can't remember, but yeah, it wasn't that many fulfillment like options then that I think it was all just developing. So so that's a cool story. And then, but then you came to China, right? I mean, maybe share how you came to China.
So like 2005, let's say, I broke up with the old partner. Then we went, and then I did my own thing, and that's where we were packing in the back of the car and stuff.
Yeah.
So in eight, I've decided that we should be going to China instead, because that's when like Alibaba or Global Source was
Mm,
kind of popular, right, back
I
then.
remember
And then
that.
and then people are, because we were one of the first like kind of importers and stuff. People were buying wholesale from us on the things that we were selling. And then we
Oh,
wanted to make sure that they keep on buying from us, but our prices cannot compete with them buying directly from China. So we wanted to be the ones in China selling it to the people in the US at that time. So we jumped over, and then me and my wife at the time, that she was working at Walgreens as a store manager, she
wow.
went with me to China, and she quit her job. So we were like, hmm. For my side, I wasn't that worried, but for her side, she's just quit her job to kind of go with me into China. So we always had this idea of, hey, what if we can make American dollars in China? That would be a lot cooler, because everything is a lot priced lower than the US and so on. And also the foreign earned income thing that they
True.
have for the US people.
Yeah, that's true. This is cool. So yeah, I didn't bring up your wife. I think I remember from your vlog you met in college, right? At what is University of Santa Barbara
You see
or
San Diego.
San Diego? San Diego. So you guys met there, which is cool.
So so yeah, I was actually met her in community college, because I was actually transferred from San Marino High School to like somewhere in Massachusetts for
Whoa,
computer science. Then it was kind of not right. The weather is like too cold because it was snowing all the time, and so on. And I'm the LA guy, right? I'm not used to the snow, and it's kind of boring, I feel like.
West
So
Coast.
I came back. I wanted to get away from my friends and really study. So, so then I came back, and then I had to go through a community college. Computer, it's called PCC, Pasadena City College. And then that's where we met in the calculus class, and then that's where what happened. And then we got together when I was 18. She was 18, and so on. That's where we met.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you guys even during COVID, you guys are always like like especially COVID, like all of us were all kind of locked down or quarantined. You guys have been through a lot, together, and then even in early days, she quit her. So yeah, it seems like you're a lucky guy. She seems very supportive, which is awesome. Did the families support this, or what was that hard to move? Because your family probably Hong Kong background that immigrated to the US or something, or
Correct. Yes. Into the US. And so it wasn't that bad because they're used to us being independent and because we're always not in at home. So when
okay.
we just moved and we were okay at the age. So like 20, I think it was 30 something. I don't remember. And we went to China in 2009. That's where
Okay.
we started. So
Got it.
2009, I forgot how many years that goes, like almost 15, 16 years. I don't know. But yeah, so, it was kind of hard in the very beginning because we don't have a place.
Yeah.
Um, we had to go over there and set up an office and so
Yeah.
on. So we had a friend there and he helped a little bit. And so that's where we set up our own office in China in 2009 doing Amazon, which is one of the first Amazon sellers in China
Yeah. Yeah, for
in
sure. That
2000.
was because I remember a lot of Chinese couldn't sell on Amazon without a US company. I think it was until 2011 or 12 that Chinese sellers could use Chinese companies to sell. I remember that because I remember a lot of Chinese were asking me to help them open US companies to get on Amazon in those days because they couldn't sell direct yet, I think.
Yeah. But
Um,
my wife is very supportive. Well, of course, we sometimes have arguments. It's hard not to, but it works out.
yeah, of course. I've dodged plates a few times myself, so but let's move on. And so
She's the best. She's the best. If she's listening to this episode, baby, you're the best.
yeah, I think we're both lucky. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Catalina seems great. I was just chatting to her the other day, and yeah, my wife Wendy is supportive. I think it's important to have a stable, supportive partner in our especially high stress, high risk kind of environments. So yeah, let's move on. So then you're in China in like 2009, and you're selling on Amazon. One of the first, yeah, I mean, I think yeah, Amazon wasn't many third party sellers still. I mean, so that's awesome. And what was kind of the evolution? Because I think you've been on like a lot of great press. I think it was Wall Street Journal with the video about your working with factories and sellers in China. Like, I don't know how you want to transition to that, or and I know I think I know where your nickname came from, but maybe we can get into that. But I don't. Is that the right next step in the story? Like,
Sure. So 2009, I landed in China, set up a company, and we started growing it. At that time, the salary was like 800 to 1,000 RMB per person. So it
yeah,
was really that is like 100 to $200 USD if
yeah,
those who exchange. So we grew it right pretty big. We grew it to about 150 people. So we
right,
actually had a warehouse in the US with
got it.
maybe like 80 to 90 people. And then we had in China, we had another like another 70 or 80 people doing it. So 150 people, let's say. And we were doing like 20,000 orders a day. We were doing a lot of sales volume. And then after a while, we also went on to the hoverboards.
Yeah, I remember
So
this. Yeah,
we did a lot of hoverboards. We were the best seller on hoverboards on Amazon. We were doing like 1,000 orders, but on just hoverboards, right? But then these prices are between $499 to $800. So
well,
we're like really good. And also we were selling international, so it was more like half of our orders was from the US and the other half was the rest of the world. We're talking about Japan, France, and UK and Canada and everywhere else that at that time Amazon was having as the other countries marketplace. It was doing really good. It was on Newegg, it was on eBay, everything like that.
got it, got
So
it.
then there's the incidents with batteries because at that time a lot of Chinese sellers was trying to make a profit, but they had to like have less quality insurance in order to make that profit. So that was the one that thing that hurt us, where we were really, as an American, it's really hard for us to not have good quality because you're kind of scared, that you might get
Yeah.
returns or have, like we say, explosion, the battery exploding and everything. So
Yeah.
things like that we try not to get into. So that's why we
Oh
had
no.
really quality. But Amazon said, hey, everything, all hoverboards gets taken down. So then we got all our hoverboards kind of taken down, and then they wanted the UL certified, and then we got that. But before that, before we get the UL certified, they're telling Amazon telling everyone to return all the hoverboards, right? Because they were at the time they were kind of they felt like there's bad press and everything. But we sold a lot, right? We're selling 1,000 a day, and they're expensive.
Crazy.
$499 to $800. So we're selling a lot. And when they tell us to return it, we had to set up a quality,
Return.
like a facility. And
Yeah.
when you return it at that time, you're not able to sell it again. First of all, the hoverboards are kind of sound is already and like a taboo kind of already. And then you're trying to fix it up and resell it back out. It's even worse.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. We lost like so much money. We lost two houses, and that's where my wife was getting kind of really depressed
Mm-hmm.
because losing a lot of money in the house and so on. So then I transitioned to teaching. So we created myself. Was teaching at Zhongshan University, that's where the professor
Yeah,
came
that's
out,
where the name came
the
from.
professor of Amazon. So then we did this mastermind in 2018, and I guess it's in Shenzhen,
Yeah,
in a
yeah, I
hotel.
remember. Yeah, it was
So
nice.
that's where we started, and people were like really crazy about understanding what is the Chinese doing at that time. Why are they
Mhm.
just selling so good, so fast, so much, and so on. So that's where the Professor of Amazon came about, and the hoverboard is came about to be a, a bad thing because we lost all this money
Oh,
and
yeah,
depression.
it is, man. It is. It's always scary. Even right now, like for me personally, my credit card's not working. They changed the credit card number on the virtual bank account. I use Mercury. They're even a sponsor of this podcast. They changed all the credit cards on all their accounts and it failed. So Amazon's locked me out. Not locked me out, but just says you can't do anything until you update your credit card. And the new card's not processing. Literally, like just the last 24 hours, they froze my payout. I'm trying to think. I guess I'll have to use a personal credit card because I don't have a business credit card on that account, So it's yeah, it's always, man, it's always nerve-wracking, this stuff. Yeah. And
Be careful to not have it on multiple accounts if you
I
ever
I
decide to.
know this is what I'm worried about. I'm trying to talk to the support because I just want to use the card on the company name on that file on that address. That's what I'm trying to figure out what to do. To be honest, I don't want to put a different like card. So I'm trying to think
Mhm.
what
Let's be
to
careful.
do.
That's one of the ways that Amazon links through credit card because that's easy, right? A number is easy, it's unique.
Yeah. Well, I do have a different card number, or I can make it generate another number, but the address would be a different address. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. And then the address would be the same as the other card on the other account. So they would maybe have the address would be the same.
Address they only look at zip codes if they do.
Mm,
Yeah, that's the only thing
mm.
they could.
Well,
If it's
the zip is Hong Kong 000. So I
scary.
don't. Yeah, maybe it'll work. I'm gonna. Yeah, I literally got an email before our recording. They said they're freezing the payout. It's like payout time. So I'll maybe have to use a personal. But okay, so let's move on. But yeah, it's exactly. So cool that you kind of covered the story of the professor from Zhongshan University, which is awesome. And then yeah, of course, you've kind of helped both, right? You've helped Chinese sellers and you've helped Western sellers with the masterminds, which is cool and unique. Most people just are able to kind of do one side or the other. So you've of course worked with many sellers, especially these masterminds you're doing, and you have one coming up here very quickly in a couple of weeks, right at the beginning of November. We'll link in the show notes at elitesellersociety.com/ESS 2023. It's in Kopanjang Island. It's like island, secret island mastermind. And you've done quite a few others, very premium. What do you see that, separates, these 7-8 figure sellers from maybe new or sellers 6 figures, or guys that just don't continue or don't work out? Like what do you think separates the big, the successful from the not?
So I see a lot of sellers, and a lot of sellers are the smaller sellers. The one that gives up all the time, would give up, are the ones that won't take the extra mile and just like push through. They're almost there, but they just gave up. Giving up is the worst thing because you'll never be able to reach it. So it's like a lot of like they don't want to learn new things. They're just stagnant of where they are. But everyone knows that when they're talking about Amazon, it's like it's ever changing. You have to always kind of come up with new strategies. You got to come up with new techniques to grow, because Amazon COS changes all the time, and then the stuff that used to work isn't working anymore. So it has to be people who are able to learn new things and be able to adapt and be able to take the pressure, because Amazon is not it's there's ups and downs all the time. So you got to make sure that you can be able to take all that pressure from Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's seriously, you feel like you're battling with them every time. You got to update something, update even just, I feel like just keeping the account active sometimes is like a fight, right? Like, geez, man, like, oh, you got to upload new tax documents or this document or credit cards updating of verifying this. And yeah, of course, compliance. And yeah, so it's true. It's like, I think, guess what you're saying is also mindset, right? And perseverance to just, and I've had to book a Gladiator, e-commerce Gladiator, and I did a little mini series, and it feels like we're, as a seller, you're like a gladiator in modern times. Like you got to have that mindset to succeed and to win and to. But I like that. I like that.
Also, like I always think that like the when people start learning is when they start reaching that $10 million mark. That's when I see that people are starting to up their game. A lot of people like back in the days, like they get lucky sometimes. They got a
Mm,
crazy product, they got in the right time, the right place, and they did really good. And then that's where they're stagnant because they have to learn new things or do new
mm,
operations in order for you to be able to go through another barrier, go to next level.
got it. Yeah. No, that's true. To scale, yeah, you have to like add products. You have to learn how to launch. Yeah, you got to or go multi markets or channels. Yeah, and you have to keep pushing yourself. How about Chinese sellers versus like Western sellers? Are there, differences? And of course, obviously, there's similarities, or not just like to generalize, but just in general, like what are some of the differences that you'd say? Because you know both, and
So the Chinese sellers are mainly playing within the sandbox of Amazon, right? They do PPC, they do DSP, they do optimizing on their Amazon side. They only can do Amazon because a lot of the other stuff, the shiny new object is
mm,
Facebook, Google, or Tik. What was the other one? Instagram or
Instagram, TikTok, of course. Or there's
Google. Yeah,
I don't even. I'm
all
losing
these
track of the newer ones. I think there's even newer ones now. I'm hearing about.
all these shiny objects aren't able to be done in China because they're all blocked through the Great Wall, right?
Yeah.
So the firewall of China. So they're not able to do it. So that's why they could only stay within that bubble of Amazon. So, but then they're doing it, they're grinding and they're learning within the Amazon ecosystem. They know what to do because they focus all their mind, all the whole time
Energy,
on Amazon.
time, mind,
While you have other
brain,
people with like a lot of shiny objects, Instagram, social media, influencer marketing, Google, Facebook,
websites, Shopify.
and
Yeah.
website, just a lot of stuff. So then they divert their all their like time into going through all these different places which which the people in China are just still in that little bubble of Amazon. That's why they could navigate in Amazon so much better than maybe the Western culture sellers.
True. No, I agree. And Chinese are just, like even before I came to China, you go to Chinatowns, right? They're all around the world. They work hard, Chinese people. Of course, the black hat people are critical about, but black hat or not, Chinese work hard, right? And the business ethics and the work ethic, they'll do what it takes, Whereas I think, you know, I don't want to get like, but some Western sellers, or don't want to push it as far as they have to go. Of course, they're obviously I'm generalizing. I don't want to like be racist or something, but
I
yeah.
do agree with you to a point, yeah, because like everyone in the U.S. at least, like they know about this book called 4 Hour Work Week, right? They're just like
Yeah,
trying to do Amazon
that's a
so that they
good
can make
point.
enough money to be like you, laying on the beach in
Yeah, I'm on the beach all day.
and and then laying on the beach in Thailand and don't have to do much work. You have a lot of those. So
That's
but then
true.
in China they have that 996, right?
Yeah,
9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week.
yeah,
So they're at that mindset. And for their culture or their education in China, they're known to be really, really fast at doing stuff. Like the factory workers, right? They always do the
yeah,
same thing over and over again. Or when they go to school, they just keep on practicing math. They're
yeah,
practicing math over again so that they become the best. So
yeah.
when they do something, they do it fast and quick.
True.
So that's where the big advantage of them, because if they know how to do something and they'll keep on doing it fast and quick. So like launching a product is it's a cycle. Keep on pushing new products out. Keep on going. And
I
they
like.
have and of course, when you get success in doing one product, you have that dopamine, and then you want to do it again and again
It's
and again. So
exactly.
that's
This is
the
fun.
culture thing.
Yeah, it's true though. I mean, I think anybody, Chinese or Westerners listening, would agree. Of course, there's exceptions. There's lazy Chinese and there's hardworking Westerners, like that. But I think generally that's the way. I think a lot of it is almost it's true. Like Tim Ferriss or 4 Hour Work Week or the digital nomads, they try to do. I work hard. I do a million things. So yeah, but I mean, a lot of people are trying to do the little as possible, which I think is a mistake as well. There's a saying about the coconut cowboy I heard, and I think about, but some people just try to like live in Thailand. I heard people say, if I just get $200 a month, I can live here. 300, I can like they think about the bare minimum they need to live and they just try to make that amount to pay their rents and their food, and I'm like, man, that's not the right mindset, like it's not the right mindset. So I know we got short on time. I know you're super busy. Appreciate you coming on. Let's talk about your secret island mastermind in November. The show will come out in the middle of October, so it's just a couple weeks away. I know, like, I met some people coming there. What are the dates? And you give us a little bit of preview about it.
For the mastermind, it's called the Elite Seller Society 2023 Mastermind. But the theme of it is the secret island. So we're going to take you on to a secret island where we could be showing you some of the cool stuff that big sellers are doing. We're bringing people from China, 2 or 3 sellers, to teach about what the Chinese are doing, and that they're growing 30 to 40% year over year still right now. And
Amazing.
all the sellers that you think about that got suspended because of review manipulation are all back on Amazon and growing
Mm,
fast. So you can't keep them out too long, right?
true,
So
true.
yeah, and then we got people from Ukraine coming, and also worldwide. You have like all these big sellers from all over the world that we know, and we think that is more practical for people to learn from. So we try to pick. I go to a lot of masterminds. I try to find the best of the best to come to my ESS 2023 or mastermind. So it's kind of going to be really good. And it's going to be first, we're going to meet in Koh Samui in November 4th. And
Yep.
then we're going to take you on November 5th. We're going to go take you on to that private secret island. And then we're going to do some team building, networking, and just building up that tribal feel. Then on the 6th and the 7th, we're gonna have that mastermind. So we're gonna just teach and learn and do that. On the 7th nighttime, we're gonna have this jungle party. So that's where we're gonna have all the fun. And then after the after 7th, then we're gonna go on the 8th is when we all leave. We're gonna take you back from the secret island to Koh Samui, and then that's where we depart. So
Great.
it's gonna be pretty 5 days, 4 nights.
Yeah,
in
all inclusive.
Thailand.
Yeah, the landing page is great. People should check it out. Again, we'll link it in the show notes. But yeah, elitesellersociety.com/ESS2023. The island is there and everything. So yeah, November 4th for 5 days, 4 nights, all inclusive. It'll be epic. And it's application only. They got to make sure you're right fit. It's a premium event. So then definitely maybe let them know that you have heard about it from us. And they'll give you a little preferential treatment there. And so I've met people already planning to go, which is awesome. And then afterwards, and after this amazing island, we're going to get to see you here in Chiang Mai, up in the mountains. No islands in the north, but in Chiang Mai, you'll be here for the Cross Border Summit, which we mentioned earlier. You've spoken in 2019 and been to them in the past, so it'll be great to have you sharing with us a session and connecting with our attendees. So thanks for making it out here. No
problem. Anything for Mike. I get lost.
Yeah, we've been talking about the topic, but the trifecta of the balancing now AI, of course, which you do a lot with the Signalytics. I know you guys really specializing in AI and PPC and ranking, right? And how to balance those to maximize the seller's profit, not Amazon's profit. I feel like Amazon's learning to maximize. They're using AI to maximize their profit. You know what I mean? Like from us as a seller. So I'm excited for your session there in November 16th, 17th. So November's going to be action packed. And well, I think, yeah, I know you got another session coming up, and it's a pleasure to have you. This will be a fun show to share for the books. The professor's story is what we're calling it. And I learned a couple new things about the story, and it's always motivating to hear people's early days, selling out of a back of your car in LA to where you are now is an amazing achievement. So congrats, and it's great to be your friend and working with you, Howard. So thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
And thank you to our sponsor, our returning sponsor, Mercury.com, online bank. Well, it's a real bank, but you can do it totally online for US. Our Blimp program participants are going through this as well. Thank you, Mercury. Travis is great there. He's been on our show. He's been in our events. We're going to have another event where we will have them attending as well. And if you want to get a little bonus for you and us, if you sign up and do some special circumstances, you can go to globalfromasia.com/Mercury. I also have a video tutorial that we use even for the Blimp people. I use the same exact video to learn how to use it. I hope you can check it out. Totally free. Why not? See you there. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks, Howard Tai, the professor of Amazon, or just the professor, for sharing with us that fun story. I always think these are inspirational and, some of my favorite kind of podcast interviews, getting to the early stages when you're selling out the back of your car in LA. Wow, that was some cool stuff. Thanks for sharing the good, the bad, the ugly. It's like I said, it's like the gladiator. And he's definitely a professor. He's done a lot of amazing masterminds. I've been a pleasure of being his friend for a long time in the industry. Definitely, if you want to really up your game, attend his Secret Island Mastermind, November 4th to the 8th. I know a couple people going, and it will always be delivering good value. It's very, very premium. It's application only. You got to do a call with them first, and it's a premium price for a premium package with a very tight-knit group of elite seller society people. So check that out. Also let them know you came from us, and I'm sure they'll give you a little preferential treatment during that phone call and application process. Count up quick, so you gotta act fast. elitesellersociety.com/ESS2023. 2023. And of course, After that, it's going to be the Cross Border Summit, November 15th, 16th, 17th. 15th for the VIPs, masterminds, and dinners. 16th, 17th for the core event of full-day speakers and networking and speed business dating and lunches and networking parties and all that crazy stuff. CrossBorderSummit.com will be that spot. So thank you so much for listening. So some of the highlights, there's so much happening. Some of the highlights for the summit. Of course, Howard will be there. I just had a webinar with ProBox, and Nick Katz, our Mr. Japan, he's coming to Chiang Mai for the first time. I actually think Howard's first time to Chiang Mai, Danny McMillan's first time. There's going to be Chris Rawlings' first time. So if you want to meet these amazing people all under one roof for intense networking and learning and growing together sessions, I would love to see you there. It's also, of course, a great way to support these podcasts. If you enjoy these shows, enjoy this content, attending or even just telling a friend maybe you can't come. A lot of times people refer their friends. There's only a few spots left, honestly. It's always nerve-wracking, these events. We're also kind of getting things rolling again. Also, Global from Asia turned 10 years old today, as far as this, maybe not today, but this week. 10 years, 2013, October, we started this show. So, thanks again for listening, for watching, for tuning in, for sharing, for commenting, for giving reviews and feedback on the podcast, for participating, for engaging. Obviously, this is nothing without you engaging with us, connecting with us, reaching out to us. Mike at globalfromasia.com will go into the inbox, and I would love to hear some cool feedback and ideas from you. That's it, episode 415, The Professor Story Show. Peace.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.